Who's watching to make sure a local police department accused of corruption in the past is turning things around? The debate happening at City Hall.
New pictures tonight. Do they show the scene of the crime? What we're learning about what happened to the Florida woman who disappeared at this Airbnb in Costa Rica.
A Southwest Florida grandmother lovingly tending to her late grandson's grave. 4 in Your Corner is working to get her answers as she wonders what's taking a full year to get him a special grave marker. The news starts right now.
Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
Calling for more accountability. Fort Myers City Council members and the mayor clash over the performance of the police department. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Jane Monreal.
I'm Patrick Nolan. Mayor Randy Henderson says that dramatic improvements in his view have been made since the department hired Chief Derek Diggs in 2016. But this debate is dredging up the department's troubled past, exposed as corrupt by the former director of the FBI.
4 in Your Corner's Adam Pinsker is in Fort Myers to explain why some council members feel more needs to be done. Adam?
Fort Myers City Council members Johnny Streets and Kevin Anderson want to know why the Fort Myers Police Department disbanded a special investigations unit after allegations of corruption and mismanagement in that unit.
Before you can move forward, you have to go back and make some amends.
It wasn't scheduled on last night's agenda, but a debate between Mayor Randy Henderson and Councilman Johnny Streets started over the police department. Streets is worried the department is ignoring the issues that caused the chief to dissolve a special investigations unit. The officer in charge of that unit is still on paid administrative leave.
We live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, and that applies to our police officers as well. And it's not fair to say you've been accused of something and we're going to take away your livelihood.
Councilman Kevin Anderson defended the length of time it has taken to resolve this issue, but the former FMPD major and council's newest member agrees with Councilman Streets. The police department can't regain the trust of the public if it is operating under a cloud of suspicion.
We need to investigate. If we find there was misconduct, we need to correct it, address it.
Mayor Henderson says the city has already held the police department accountable by bringing in an outside consultant, the Free Group, to evaluate it. The report found the department was plagued by corruption and low morale, issues the mayor says have been addressed over the past several months.
We are way better today than we were. So this narrative that Mr. Thomas and others wants to bring forward is inaccurate.
A spokesperson with the police department would not comment on this matter. We reached out to him earlier today. Reporting from Fort Myers, Adam Pinsker, Fox 4, in your corner.
A security guard at a Costa Rican Airbnb is now under arrest, suspected of killing a Tampa woman who disappeared there. We're now seeing photos of the inside of Carla's Stefaniak's room, where investigators believe she was killed. They'll use fingerprints to confirm it was her body that was found partially buried nearby. There were stab wounds to the neck and arms, as well as head trauma. Loved ones remember the suspect from when they were there.
We went to that Airbnb and we looked a stone cold killer in the eyes and shook his hands that day.
Prosecutors say they are doing everything they can to make sure the security guard stays in custody.
It is now a matter of hours until the funeral of the late President George H.W. Bush. We're giving you a live look right now on Fox 4 News at 10 at the Rotunda in the U.S. Capitol in Washington, where his body has been lying in state since yesterday. Visitors have been pouring into the Capitol all day and all night. It's a 24/7 thing to pay their respects and thank him for his service to the nation, from the Navy when he was a fighter pilot to the West Wing. Ray Bogan is in the Capitol with more.
It was a cloudy and chilly day here in Washington, D.C., but that didn't stop thousands of people from paying their respects to our 41st president in the Capitol Rotunda. The 43rd president stopped by the Capitol Rotunda Tuesday night. His daughters, brother Jeb, and extended family joining members of the public who came to honor President Bush. They all came here from all across the nation.
I thought it was appropriate for us to come out and say aloha and wish his family well.
Because they admired him, respected his service, and wanted to say thank you.
I came up to pay final respects to my commander-in-chief.
President Bush taught us that public service is a noble calling.
There were visually powerful moments when the current and former CIA directors stood in front of the flag-draped coffin to honor the man who once had their job.
I've never seen anything so impressive.
Or the military brass who navigated the nation through the war in the Middle East, most notably General Colin Powell, a former Secretary of State. But it was former Senator Bob Dole who had one of the most moving moments.
A former political opponent, a great patriot himself who served in World War II at the age of 95, got out of his wheelchair and saluted the casket. I mean, that really speaks to this powerful moment for our country to come together despite our differences.
The Capitol will stay open to the public until Wednesday morning. Then there's going to be a state funeral at the National Cathedral at 11 a.m. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, thank you, Ray. And just a heads up, you're not going to be getting your regular mail service tomorrow because of the funeral for the late president. The U.S. Postal Service is suspending regular mail deliveries tomorrow to honor him. The U.S. Postal Service retail services and offices are all going to be closed. However, the service will go ahead with some limited package deliveries just to prevent any major interruptions during this very busy holiday season operation going on right now.
New tonight, the special counsel's office is recommending no jail time for Michael Flynn, calling his cooperation substantial. President Trump's former national security advisor pleaded guilty last year to lying to the FBI regarding conversations about sanctions with the Russian ambassador. Flynn is due to be sentenced in 2 weeks, December 18th. Defense lawyers will have an opportunity to respond with their own recommendation next week. A last-minute deal brought a quick halt to a highly anticipated civil trial involving Palm Beach billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein pleaded guilty 10 years ago to state prostitution charges and served 13 months in jail on accusations he lured underage girls into a life of sexual abuse. In the civil case, Bradley Edwards, who represented some of those women, claimed Epstein tried to damage his reputation by suing him. The terms of the settlement are confidential.
A Hendry County Sheriff's deputy and a bondsman arrested on perjury charges. The arrests are stemming from a 2017 case in which the bondsman, Antonio Martinez, is accused of detaining a person he believed had committed a crime against his family. Deputy Jermaine Garcia then took that person into custody. Both of the men are now accused of giving false statements under oath about what actually happened.
Tonight, 4 in Your Corner is working to get answers for a Southwest Florida man who says he's owed thousands of dollars for helping clean up after Hurricane Michael in the Panhandle. 4 in Your Corner's Bo Evans is working to track down this man's money after he put in some very long days in the Panhandle.
So 11-hour days, and we worked 8 days, which is 88 hours. Total, it comes up to like $13,800 or something.
That's how much money Richard Sheldon says he's owed by CLM Construction for the work he did removing trash and rubble after Hurricane Michael. Sheldon signed an agreement to be a push crew and get paid $150 per hour. After 8 days on the job, Sheldon says he and other crews were sent home and never paid.
I have a group text on my phone with people saying that they owe $60,000, $20,000, $13,000, $18,000. I mean, it's a lot of people that are owed a lot of money.
I called the phone numbers Sheldon had for CLM.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. We're sorry, the number you have dialed has calling restrictions.
But both numbers were disconnected. Sheldon says he just wants to be paid for the work he did.
And to give them all the money and not let the employees, the people that are actually doing the work and working out there hard, staying away from their families, it's not good.
Bo also contacted the Florida Department of Transportation to try and track down the money they paid contractors. They say they're looking into the matter and say they'll update us shortly. We'll keep you posted.
Hertz Arena used to be Germain Arena, making a change to the much talked about paint color they had previously proposed. Check out these mock-ups of the new proposed paint job for the arena. Of course, yellow is the color of the company. It's got its headquarters in Estero. There's definitely a lot less yellow in this version. The Village of Estero's Design Review Board is holding a public hearing on the proposal at 5:30 p.m. on December 12th. That's next Wednesday if you want to go. The board is encouraging you and others, especially people who live nearby, to come and share your thoughts on this new design.
Well, if you're planning to head to Cape Coral's bike night this weekend, listen up. There are now designated parking areas for motorcycles. This will allow enough space for this growing crowd. Motorcycles will now be parking in the lot behind Iguana Mia, the lot across from Cape Vineyard Church, and overflow parking will be in the designated area of Club Square. Bike night is scheduled for this Saturday, the 8th. It'll be along Southeast 47th Terrace.
A Southwest Florida grandmother in mourning, and she's been waiting now for a final piece of a tribute to her late grandson at this grave. 4 in your Corner is working to find out why it's taken a whole year to get it delivered.
Thomas Edison might have been proud of this, how a community is giving a facelift to a 92-year-old beauty near his Southwest Florida home.
And new information tonight on a mystery that used to be hidden under what a lot of people consider the party part of town, just to the north of us. What these secret tunnels in Ybor City may have been used for. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10. Derek?
And the cold front has brought those cooler temperatures to Southwest Florida. It gets even colder for tomorrow night. Your forecast is coming up.
Expert.
Tampa's Ybor City is mostly known for its party atmosphere. Hey. But lately, it's become known for something else, these mysterious tunnels that have just been discovered under that part of town.
Tonight, our reporter Carson Chambers gives us a look inside, not the party part, the tunnels before it all disappears forever.
This is the sound of secrets.
Sure, your speculation can go wild.
Muffled. Buried underground between 3 layers of brick in Ybor City.
It's an arch. It's very strong.
If these walls could talk or scream.
The story is the city built the tunnels as a drainage system, but we don't think that's correct.
You don't believe that?
We think they used it as drainage later on.
Retired architect Jerry Kurtz renovated the nearby Florida Brewery building, which sent beer to Cuba decades ago via the port. Some speculate the route brought back more sinister shipments.
And there was a big Chinese population in Cuba, and his theory is that they brought in these girls from the port of Tampa into Ybor City and used them for child prostitution.
Booze running, bolita, even human trafficking. Theories as dark as this tunnel is drab. The tunnel runs 200 feet this way, but where it ends up, no one's really sure. Now USF scientists.
Now we need to look at the science behind it.
Dr. Lori Collins and her team using lasers.
We just tried to preserve it the best way we could.
Digitally mapping the Ybor tunnel for future scrutiny.
Now what we'll be working on is connecting that back to old maps.
Before it disappears again into the silt, filled in by progress.
It's right in the middle where we're going to be building our building, of course, so.
Very interesting there. Well, a 92-year-old statue in Fort Myers is getting remodeled. Rachel at the Well sits on McGregor Boulevard in Fort Myers. That's just outside the Edison Park neighborhood. People living there say they took on this beautification project because they care about the historic landmark and what it means to the city. The new design will be a landscape design. It's going to implement a classic European garden.
It's part of history. It's part of the city. It's part of what we are. And, we should continuously keep it in a state of repair that just reflects how much it means to the city.
Looks beautiful as it is, but residents have to pay for it all. And while they've paid for the initial repairs, they also need to keep up the maintenance so everyone can enjoy it.
We're excited that we had the monies to go ahead and fund the initial, but now we're looking for people in the community to help us fund the ongoing maintenance of it.
They're looking for help to pay for the maintenance because it's their responsibility. So I would say anybody that's looking to help to go find their GoFundMe page and just help with the maintenance of this beautiful project, because it's not just for this neighborhood. As you can see, it's all along McGregor, so it's for the community as well.
Absolutely. Well, the beautification project was completed this afternoon, but again, there need to be fees for the maintenance. So if you're interested in donating, the GoFundMe page is on our website, fox4now.com.
It's a nice day for it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Have some tea, hot tea or cold tea, though?
Probably a little cold tea today.
Transition tea.
Transition to hot tea for tomorrow, especially this time tomorrow night. That's when temperatures are really expected to drop across the area. So we're going to kind of get I would say, kind of a repeat performance of what we had last week with those temperatures into the 40s. Maybe not quite that cold, but still, nonetheless, we're going to see cooler temperatures than we've seen. Now, a cold front continues to push through the area. It has now cleared the Cape and Fort Myers. It continues to push off to the south. There are still some lingering showers across parts of Glades County now. So from Palmdale over towards Buckhead Ridge. We are seeing those showers now heading over towards the western shores of Lake Okeechobee. But we are dry across the rest of the area, and the temperatures continue to drop. Now you see down to 70, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, and Arcadia, 71 in Palmdale. Still a little warmer, though. You get down into Hendry and parts of Collier County, down to 74 now in Immokalee and Golden Gate. The wind's now out of the north, and that is a sign of things to come, as that northerly wind's going to help bring that cooler and drier air into the region. So as you wake up tomorrow morning, it will be noticeably cooler. So if you go out for your morning walk tomorrow, you will notice it. Temperatures tomorrow morning into the upper 50s for most areas. Under mostly sunny skies, it's going to be breezy too. We're going to have a north wind tomorrow, gusting up to 20 miles an hour at times. So that'll kind of add a little extra bite to the air here for tomorrow. And highs tomorrow are only going to get into the 60s for most areas, as opposed to the 80s that we had this afternoon and several days before that. The coldest morning will be Thursday morning. That's when we'll see those 40s. And by the time we head towards Friday, we'll start to warm back up. And then we'll be back into the 80s by the time we head into the weekend. The front now pushing south of our area, and it's going to continue moving offshore. We did have a little bit of rain that formed ahead of the front this afternoon, a few showers and storms, but not really organized activity. So not everybody saw rain today, and it looks like those chances are winding down as the front pushes to the south. So predictors showing tomorrow morning skies will have cleared out, maybe a couple of lingering clouds across inland Collier down towards Hendry County, but most areas though will be seeing some sunshine. Northerly winds throughout the day tomorrow, gusting up to 20 miles an hour at times, and highs only in the 60s. Coldest morning will be Thursday morning, and then we'll start to transition to more of an east to southeast wind as the moisture starts to return back to the area as high pressure leaves the region. So we'll be a little more humid on Thursday, I'd say Thursday night, and then especially on Friday to the weekend. That's when you'll notice the difference. So temperatures tonight into the 50s for most areas, and then tomorrow afternoon's highs mid to upper 60s. Coldest morning Thursday morning, low to mid 40s expected across the area, and then highs on Thursday in the low 70s. Tonight, gradual clearing, 58 your overnight low, 68 for tomorrow with sunshine, less humid. Small craft need to exercise caution tomorrow as seas will be running about 2 to 4 feet with a north wind at about 10 to 20 knots. 7-day forecast down to 46 on Thursday morning. Sunshine breezy, 72 for Thursday afternoon. The warm up for Friday, 78. And then our next chance for rain with another cold front on Sunday.
Thank you, Derek. Ohio State Buckeyes head coach and former UF head coach Urban Meyer is set to retire. The school made the announcement today. He's 54 years old. He plans to step down after the team plays in the Rose Bowl against Washington next month. The news is marking the end of a turbulent season for him. He was suspended by the school earlier this year for a few games. After it became public, he kept an assistant coach on staff who's been accused of beating his wife over the years. In fact, it dated all the way back to when the coaches were at UF together. Offensive coordinator Ryan Day is expected to replace Meyer.
Minnesota Twins spring training tickets are now on sale. Tickets can be purchased at twinsbaseball.com or by calling 1-800-33-TWINS. That's an easy enough to remember number. If you want to get them in person instead, you'll be able to starting January 5th. At the Hammond Stadium box office. The Twins have 18 home games. Their first game is February 23rd against the Tampa Bay Rays. One of Southwest Florida's spring training teams, the Boston Red Sox, are going to the White House for some presidential recognition for their World Series win. No date has yet been scheduled, but the news comes after members of the Golden State Warriors and Philadelphia Eagles said they would not go to the White House if invited.
Many of you are bringing the heat after we told you about this radio host who says the Christmas classic Baby It's Cold Outside is sending a corrupt message of consent.
Surf's Up, the annual event that brought all these Santas to a Florida beach. Next on Fox 4 News at 10.
Santa Baby hurry down the beach tonight, only in Florida. People on Cocoa Beach near Daytona getting ready for a unique holiday tradition, surfing with Santa. It's a Christmas Eve event. It draws hundreds of Santas. Thousands of dollars are raised for local charities, including one called Grind for Life. It provides financial assistance to cancer patients and their families who have to travel long distances to see doctors and get their treatment. This year, the event will be featured on the Hallmark Channel, so they're getting exposure that way. Police in Tampa searching for this real-life Grinch seen on tape, walking onto the porch of somebody's home and stealing a big elf statue that was serving as a Christmas decoration. They're hoping someone will recognize him.
Well, everyone loves free, especially this time of year, right? Before in your corner, showing you which companies are truly giving you free shipping. 2 women left with injuries after a man attacks one and tries to carjack another. Four in your corner has the details next on Fox 4 News at 10.
The Meat. Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
Attacked at work, a Fort Myers woman recovering from injuries after a terrifying ordeal, and her co-worker is accused of getting violent with her and then trying to carjack another woman and then making off with a company truck. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Jane Monreal. This story gets crazier and crazier. Four in your corner's weekend anchor Shari Armstrong spoke to the injured woman's mother about what happened.
The decorations are up. The tree is decorated, and inside of the Bader home, there's a mom that is thankful that her daughter is okay tonight.
She said the look on his face was the most psycho, scary look she's ever seen.
Katie couldn't speak on camera, but her mom, Jamie, recounted an experience she believes will haunt her daughter for a while. Katie works here at Canteen Vending in Fort Myers. Her mom says she was sitting in her car in the parking lot with her boyfriend at an untimely moment. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, this man, Trey Young, arrived at work and began striking his coworkers.
He had destructed inside the building, tearing computers, desks, everything else, went after the boss, hitting him several times.
Katie told her mom Young threw his sunglasses at her car, then lunged through the open car window and punched her in the head. Bader's daughter suffered a concussion. Deputies say Young's rage continued down the street with a stop at Modern Services Air Conditioning, where he attempted to carjack a 57-year-old woman. But we're told an employee here at Modern Services saw what was happening, jumped out of his company car, and rushed to help her. In the middle of the struggle, investigators say Young hopped into the company's car and took off. The company car with GPS led deputies on a chase that ended only after 2 pit maneuvers, but not before the sheriff's office says they received 2 other calls involving Young, including an attempted break-in at a Fort Myers home, smashing one of its windows with a ceramic pot. We reached out to Canteen Vending for comment. They issued this statement. We are shocked and saddened by the events that took place on Monday at our Fort Myers branch. The safety of our associates and the communities we serve is of utmost importance to our organization. While we can't comment on specifics, we can say that violence of any kind is not tolerated in our workplace, and the individual is no longer employed by Canteen. We will continue to cooperate fully with authorities. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Young is still in custody facing 13 charges, including burglary, battery, and robbery. In Fort Myers, Shari Armstrong, Fox 4 in your corner.
And Shari did speak with Modern Services. They said they'll provide more details on the incident tomorrow morning. Lee County Sheriff's Office says the woman involved in the attempted carjacking was also injured, transported to Lee Memorial Hospital. Her condition is unknown.
A Collier County man is accused of trying to drag a mother out of her car in front of her husband and kids. Deputies say 25-year-old Brian Delaschmidt approached the victim's car and hit the back of it with his hand. The victim's husband got out of the car, and that's when they say Delaschmidt tried to drag the woman out of the passenger seat. He's now charged with misdemeanor battery and resisting arrest. A Charlotte County man is accused of doing some illegal dumping. Deputies arrested 46-year-old Randy Lee Hartnell, who's accused of dumping more than 1,500 pounds of yard waste in the road. Deputies say he confessed. Hartnell is now charged with 3 counts of felony litter. The arrest comes as county officials are stepping up their efforts to crack down on illegal dumping.
A Southwest Florida grandmother is trying to get a headstone for her grandson after he was murdered almost a year ago. Four in your corner's Anna Coles is taking the grandmother's concerns straight to the funeral home to find out why his grave is still unmarked.
We pull it up and clean it, and when it grows up, we come back out here.
A small white picket fence. That's the only part that stands out on Bobby's grandson's grave.
And when I come out here, this is what I see. And it's not good.
She lost her grandson, Eric Young Jr., last December. He and Samuel Jones were shot and killed in a Lehigh Acres home.
He said, "Grandma, I'm going to the basketball game." I said, "Okay, son, you be careful, and I'll see you later." And Later never came.
It's been almost a year since Eric's death, but there's still no gravestone. Bobby paid $1,800 for a ledger, and her son and his wife paid $720 for a headstone from Hickson Funeral Home back in March. But it still hasn't arrived. They wanted the design to be detailed, wings in the shape of a heart around a picture of her grandson. Edward Hickson, owner of Hickson Funeral Home, didn't want to be interviewed, but said an intricate design like that takes time. Funeral directors I spoke to said an intricate design could take anywhere from 6 months to a year to complete. And Edward says he told the family it would take a while for a design like that. All Bobby wants is answers.
He's supposed to have his picture on it. I would like to see something over his grave, ma'am.
Anna Coles, Fox 4 in your corner.
Tonight, the Cape Coral Fire Department is getting in the holiday spirit and also giving you a very visible reminder to stay safe. They put up that wreath at one of their stations, and they want to keep every light on this green until January 1st. This is part of their annual campaign to remind us all about fire dangers during the holidays, dried out trees and things like that. If there is a preventable fire that happens, they replace one green light with a red one. Unfortunately, already so far this year, they did go up with one red light on the wreath. Officials say since starting the tradition, though, the number of preventable fires has gone down.
When the campaign first started, we had about 5 each year, and now we're down to 1 or 2. So we like to think that putting the information out to everybody through traditional and social media, and also through the visual reminder of the wreath, that it's encouraged people to be more fire safe over the holidays.
It'd be great to limit it to 1 this year. The wreath is at the fire station on Santa Barbara Boulevard.
A lack of rainfall has the city of Cape Coral reminding residents to follow the mandatory 2-day watering schedule. Code enforcement officers will be doing their rounds to make sure you're watering only when allowed. So we want to make sure you know when that is. So if your address ends in 0 or 1, you can water on Mondays and Fridays. Addresses ending in 3, 5, 7, and 9 can water on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And finally, addresses ending in 2, 4, 6, and 8 can water on Thursdays and Sundays. For more information, just head to capecoral.net and go to the Utilities under the Departments tab.
A proposed version of an ordinance in Cape Coral that would make it illegal for pet stores to sell you cats and dogs has now been withdrawn by City Council. Some council members say they've decided to write up a whole new version of the ordinance instead. The goal overall is to discourage puppy and kitten mills. Cape Coral City officials have approved a new contract to renovate the well-known and well-used Yacht Club pool for more than $285,000. The city says the pool really hasn't been up to code for some time now, and it was at risk of shutting down because of that. The money will go to bringing the pool up to code. Could rented scooters be the new way around town in the city of Naples? City leaders have 2 companies that have approached them about the idea of starting a motorized scooter service for public use. Several cities around the country have already adopted this program. They've kind of incorporated it into their public transportation plans. They might look fun to ride, but some people say they might not mix well with Naples' mix of pedestrians, bicycles, and cars.
With younger people, unaware people, those with challenges, and I just think it would be potentially a real disaster.
Users pay for the seatless scooters using a smartphone app. The Naples Director of Streets and Stormwater says they'll make a presentation to City Council on the scooter idea at their regular meeting tomorrow.
If you're ordering any gifts online in the coming days, you probably expect shipping to be free this time of year, but not always. For In Your Corners, John Matarese shows us who offers true free shipping and who does it so you don't waste your money. John?
The shipping wars are now underway, and with Amazon offering everyone free shipping till Christmas, you don't have to wait till December 14th this year, the annual free shipping day. Lauren Doyle loves shopping online.
Last year I did almost all of my shopping online, and I'm expecting to do the same this year.
But Lauren says if a web retailer doesn't offer her free shipping, she'll think twice about buying it. Other shoppers in recent surveys agree.
The National Retail Federation estimates that 50% of online shoppers will back out of a purchase if the shipping isn't free.
That may be why Amazon has just announced it's dropping its $25 minimum purchase for free shipping this holiday season. Everyone, not just Prime members, qualifies for free shipping from now till Christmas. Amazon's following the lead of Target, which announced free shipping for everyone last week. What Amazon's announcement means is that you'll find more and more stores offering free shipping this holiday season. That's because now, if they don't offer it, they're going to have a tougher time landing customers. Best Buy and Walmart still require a $35 order for free shipping, but that could change anytime. And remember, there's always free shipping day in mid-December when almost all major stores offer it. Lauren says with so much competition, many holiday shoppers will drop their order if there's a fee.
When we're confronted by payments for shipping, we actually find that that's a turnoff. That's something that we don't want to shop from that store.
The next week, culminating in free shipping day, is the best time to order. After that, you'll probably need to pay to get it in time, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, Fox 4 in your corner.
Thank you, John. A reason to check your dog's food dish tonight. More dog food being recalled over toxic levels of vitamin D. How to find out which brand is affected.
A beloved Christmas tune yanked over the lyrics. Last night we asked you what you thought about a radio host's opinion of Baby It's Cold Outside. We're sharing your opinions next.
But first, a look back at another beautiful day in Southwest Florida, courtesy of the Storm Smart Sky Cam. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
RB.
I simply must
but
go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Well, lyrics like you just heard prompting a Cleveland radio station to take the classic Christmas song, Baby It's Cold Outside, the song off the air, saying in this Me Too era, its cultural context has changed.
Well, some feel the lyrics are no longer appropriate because the male singer keeps insisting, even though the female singer says she wants to leave, but he continually pressures her, even though she's saying no again and again.
Well, after telling you the radio host's opinion last night, we asked for yours, and you weren't too shy about how you felt. We got an overwhelming amount of reactions. Here are a few. The text that came in from someone saying, it's a Christmas song classic. If people are offended by this, I have no idea how they live their lives in the real world. Toughen up and move on.
Marcella texting us saying, are you kidding me? Has that woman ever turned on the radio recently and listened to what they're playing? I won't go into graphic detail, but it's pretty disturbing. Kathy has a similar opinion, as did many who commented along these lines. She wrote on Facebook, absolutely crazy. I think we should be more offended by some of the sex, drugs, profanity, and other derogatory connotations in a lot of other music out there.
And Matthew gave everyone a lesson of the songwriting. The song is about a woman who is making excuses to stay with the man she just met. Pay attention to the lyrics and research the context of the day. And while Michael took a different stance writing, I don't see what the song has to do with Christmas. And then finally, Kristen writing, seriously, people need to put their big girly panties on.
4 in your corner, always listening to you no matter what you see on the news. You can be part of the community conversation when you call or text us at 239-206-FOX4. Email us at news@fox4now or send us a message on our Facebook page.
No mincing words. We appreciate your honesty, people.
Hey, you know, viewer's voice.
Viewer's voice. That's
and
what it's about.
now we're looking at a cool down coming our way.
Yeah, it does look like it'll be getting a little chilly here. So kind of similar to what we had last week.
It will be cold outside.
Yeah, it will be cold for a couple of days. We're going to be back into the 80s by the weekend, but we are about to see another drop in temperatures. So we only get about maybe 4 or 5 nights out of the entire year in Southwest Florida to break out the winter fashion. So you got another opportunity here over the next couple of days. Chances for rain that were in the area this afternoon now starting to wind down. Some lingering showers here into Glades County and Highlands County. But it looks like we're drying out here for tonight. Areas that did see rain, most of us didn't. And it looks like those temperatures continue to come down as well. 70s for most areas, but we are looking at some 60s now showing up off to our north. Close in at 68, but you can see a couple of 69s up towards Arcadia and Port Charlotte here for tonight. Notice the dew points, though. Still in the low 70s down towards Naples and Marco Island, the more humid air. But you get off towards the north, it's a little less sticky up towards Port Charlotte with dew points now into the mid-50s, those mid-60s, I should say. And the winds out of the north at about 5 to 10, helping to bring that drier air into the region. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, sunshine, temperatures will be generally in the upper 50s, lower 60s, so comfortably cool. it's not until tomorrow night that we expect the even cooler weather here across the area. So again, going over your weather headlines, breezy and cooler tomorrow. We will not get out of the 60s tomorrow afternoon. And the coldest morning will be Thursday morning. That's when we'll see 40s across most of the area away from the coast. But we will start to warm back up by Friday and this weekend. As I mentioned, we'll be back into the 80s, at least on Saturday. Cold front now pushing through South Florida, so the rain is going away and the skies will gradually clear out overnight tonight. And depending on how early the clouds clear out will determine exactly how cool we'll get. Right now, projections have us into the upper 50s for most areas tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow's highs under plenty of sunshine and a breezy northerly wind, only in the mid to upper 60s for many locations. And then we'll see that chilly morning on Thursday morning. High pressure will start to move away from the area. We're going to get more of an east to southeast wind. Notice the clouds coming in by Thursday evening. Very typical with that easterly flow in the wake of the high moving away. And we'll start to get the moisture coming back up for Friday, so it'll feel a little more humid. Nights will be a little warmer. And then it's this weekend that we'll be back into the 80s before the next cold front arrives on Sunday. So temperatures in the morning into the 50s. Highs tomorrow, mid-60s for most areas, and then the coldest morning will be Thursday morning. That's what we'll see, widespread 40s across the area, and then low 70s for Thursday afternoon, and even warmer here for Friday into the upper 70s to around 80. Tonight's forecast down to 58, gradual clearing, particularly after midnight tonight through tomorrow morning, and then 68 for your high with lots of sunshine, and it'll be breezy too. North winds at about 10 to 20. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast, and it will stay breezy into Thursday, but that chilly morning there on Thursday morning of 46, 72 on Thursday afternoon, 78 Friday. Clouds on the increase Saturday, and a chance for some showers with the next cold front on Sunday, and after that, we cool down again to start next week.
And remember, 4 in Your Corner is your source for complete weather coverage. Just download our free Storm Shield 4 mobile app for push alerts and up-to-date information about weather conditions in your area.
A state epidemiologist says there are no harmful toxins from that blue-green algae that's been showing up in so many canals in Cape Coral over the past several months. The health department tested the air quality at several different spots across Lee County, not just the Cape. They were looking for hydrogen sulfide, which is a byproduct of algae. It can be harmful in high doses to your health, but the department says as of tonight, they did not find any of that in Cape Coral. Stay tuned.
All right, heads up, if you're a pet owner, more dog food has been added to a national recall list. Which brands are affected? Next on Fox 4 News at 10. More dog and puppy foods being recalled because of toxic levels of vitamin D that could lead to kidney failure for your pet. Last week's recall included Sunshine Mills Evolve for puppies, Sportsman's Pride for large breed puppies, and Triumph Chicken and Rice. Now the recall has expanded to several more brands, including Nutrisca, Natural Life, Abound, and Nature's Promise. The affected bags have different recipes and dates, so be sure to check out the FDA's website for a complete list. Ready for a sugar blast for your morning? 2 famous sweet treats are going to become cereal. Coming to a grocery store near you, Post Cereal and Hostess created powdered sugar Donettes cereal and Honey Buns cereal. They'll be widely available starting next month. One woman on Twitter says, quote, "So if I put mini donuts on top of the Donettes cereal, does that count as a balanced breakfast? I don't think so."